still got my morning creaky voice on, but I'm going to be preparing for my D&D session that's coming up in like a couple of hours. Um, and I just thought, hey, maybe y'all would want to sit in, check out what I do, and ask me questions if you'd like. Anything you guys would like to ask, feel free to let me know. I'm an open book. This is super casual, by the way. This is just me streaming something I was going to have to do, even if I didn't stream it. Oh my god, the cats are fighting behind me. Guys. Okay. Now we can actually start the stream. Let me just make sure my headphones are connected. There we go. Okay. And then my output is set to the right output. And I'll hop into my Discord chat so folks can hang out. Oh yeah. I apologize if you saw the. Actually, I don't apologize if you saw the horny tab. I keep horny notes for things that involve my like not safe for work D&D. Um, that's no, actually it's not D&D anymore. My not safe for work Daggerheart show that I'm going to be running later this year. Production's kind of slowed down for various reasons. Also, I've taken on other projects, and I thought I'd start it over the summer, but summer gets weird. So we're going to probably pick that up and record that in fall now that the art's all ready. Okay. Also, thinking about streaming audio today. That's because I just like having audio in the background. And as a heads up, before I get a copyright strike, I do have permission to record this audio. And I know that that's true because I've spoken to the person who makes the audio and who makes the service I get the audio from. So if I get a copyright strike, let it be known that attribution goes to Michael Gelfie Studios and Opus by Describe, and that their music is totally free to use for streams and stuff like that. They've told me that it's part of their agreement. I'm doing all this because I got a copyright strike against me by some company that when I reached out to Michael Gelfie was like, I don't know who they are. I've literally never even worked with them. There's no way they have the right to copyright strike your stuff. And supposedly submitted a report. I never heard back from YouTube because they suck. And instead it got dropped solely because I contested it and nobody actually answered my contestation or my contest for 30 days. All right, let's see. Actually, hey, what's up, Team Player Gaming? Drew, if you're watching, can you let me know if the background music is like overwhelmingly loud? Because I have it set to something that's comfortable for me to listen to, but if it's so loud that it's like distracting, let me know. Anyway, so this is the Bible for like real D&D Dungeon Masters. This is 5e tools, and it has everything I could possibly need. Although I don't possibly need a lot of this. I used to keep super detailed notes. These are, by the way, I had XP logs and stuff. This is all what my session notes used to look like. So organized, so nice. And then I stopped referring to them because a lot of times the stuff that I'd spend hours planning on there, just nothing came to fruition. Or when you dungeon master enough, you understand that you're creating an experience for your players. So you start to understand that it's not about having a bunch of really impressive stuff made for them. More than anything, it's... Hold on. I put it over... Okay. Now I'm done messing with my camera. There. Okay, so... I wasn't done. Slightly higher. Yeah, any good GM knows that the best thing to do for your players is to do what matters to them, not to do what you thought was cool because you wrote it in your notes. And this is also why, like, personally, I find pre-written adventure modules to be useless. Sometimes even for one-shots, but not necessarily, because I end up having to just... I throw a lot of stuff away, or the writers thought it was a cool thing in the one-shot, or the writers who made the one-shot or adventure, whatever it is you're using, they thought they had cool ideas, or they know why they put those ideas in there, but the reason they put them in there is not clear to anybody else, or the writers put them in there because they liked those ideas, but that doesn't necessarily mean they're good ideas or done well. Anyway. Okay, so, first things first, what are in my notes? I'm not going to let y'all see my Discord, but I do have notes on Discord for my players. Sending a message in my Discord. Okay. So the first thing I want to do whenever I start session prep, it's for real beginning now. Whenever I start session prep, first thing I like to do is go through my notes and find what I wrote down and told myself, Nico, of the various things you might do in the next session. Specifically, look into this stuff. One of them, let's see, so the party hit level 6, so that's cool. I've been leveling them up because we only meet once a month. And, like, how long can you reasonably wait to level people up? So I like to level people up pretty fast. Especially in a monthly campaign. Otherwise, they'll just spend forever at level 5. So the party hit level 6. Okay. I need to give a player clues for their perception check. Alright, so my player rolled perception in a mansion of a bunch of rich people. So I am drawing some of this stuff from Waterdeep Dragon Heist. Where are the adventures? Oh. I must be blind. Unless... Dungeon Master Adventures. There we go. Okay, let's see. Waterdeep Dragon Heist. Hell of a summer. There we go. Alright, so they went to the Castellanter Villa. So the first thing I want to do, if a player of mine said they wanted to do some looking around and stuff, I remember they rolled really high on their perception. I wrote that note down to make notes about what it is they might have seen. I'm going to go ahead and go through that. See if there's anything cool. Any magic items or something. I see that they have riding horses. This is the source book from which I'm getting the or the adventure module that I'm getting the area from. Again, you know, it's a location, but I don't use this story. Jars of Mist. Secret door, I see journals. Founder's Day, sparkling wine, armor. Armor's actually a helmed horror. Knives are flying swords. None of these things are very cool. Nimble right. Magic mouth spell that plays a recorded message in the... Okay. Not a lot of cool loot here. Labia? No, Liba. Rugs of Smothering. Those are also not loot for them. Bearded Devil. Imps, rats, detect magic. You would think that, like, in a mansion owned by people in Waterdeep already, that's, you know, a mansion owned by people in Waterdeep, they've got to have cool stuff. But then you think, like, well, they also run a demon cult, so there's got to be even cooler stuff. There's not, though. There isn't, I guess. Let's see. Investment, stack of wealthy, 5-pound silver trade bars. Okay. Oh wait, if the Castellaners were successful in looting the Vault of Dragons, the vault contains... Oh, they haven't. There's none of that in my thing. Temple of Asmodeus. These are obviously made by Dyson Logos. They have to be made by Dyson Logos. Balconies. Oh, man. Okay, Family Crypt. Here we go. Here we go. Nope. Nope. Oh? Nope. Stone shape. Spells. Okay. Oh my god. I wanted to give my partner... I wanted to give my player cool stuff to find in this mansion, and there's just not very interesting stuff. Okay. Maybe if I do a Control F for magic, will I find magic items? None of the books are magical. Captured sounds. Okay. You know what, though? If they took the time to peruse that, then I think we're going to give them some cool items. I'll give them a wondrous item. How's that? I like that. Okay. The nice thing about not using D&D Beyond is I can give my players whatever I want, and then I go, but I don't have that on D&D Beyond. Nah, because you got it on your sheet right here. Just wrote it down. Fortune's Flower. An action to pull off and drop one of the flower's 5 petals. When you do, 5% chance to blah blah blah. Rune, it is recreating the effects of an augury spell. Okay. Okay. Mm-hmm. Interesting. Hmm. Interesting. Nah. Charm. Oh, there's an image. Well, that's cool. Foxfire charm. Charm begins to glow red hot. Okay. I'm already gonna complain about D&D. That you need this much text. Describe a charm. Literal dimensions of the charm. Just because you know someone's gonna be a weenie about how big it is. The elemental singular goal is to supply this fire with food. If the fire begins to burn out, the elemental will search the surrounding area for fill. Okay. Statistics for a cat, except it's an elemental, immune to fire and poison, understands common and ignan, but can't speak. Elemental has advantage on ability checks to find fuel for its source of fire and sheds bright light in a 10-foot radius, dim light for an additional 10. Okay, provided that it is an appropriate elemental. So it's you know, that could be kind of fun. I'll write that down. Maybe she gets the Foxfire charm. Yeah, putting that under my notes. Easy. I'll copy the link there. Boom. Okay. Oh, weapons. I told them I would give them cool weapons. They hit level 6. And I feel like when you get stronger, a cool thing to do is have cool weapons. So let's see. But also, besides weapons, some people just need some straight up gear. Plenty of stuff, plenty of stuff. What's this? Exploring Eberron. Okay. You know what? I'm gonna say that what they find is at least an uncommon wondrous item. Ooh, Viper Bracers. Unarmed Strike. Damn. I don't have anyone who rolls like that in my party. Okay. A Wandering Eye. That could be fun. Symbiont Leathery Tentacle. Treble Cuff? Let's see. Let's do them by sources. And the reason being, like, the DMG can be fun because it's got, like, a lot of the default content, you know, for D&D. And that's fine. But also... hey, to be fair, this is a group that's, like... One of them writes adventures for D&D, and I've offered... They've actually nibbled at playing Daggerheart. The thing is... And I just made a video, like a short, about how people who start with D&D as their first TTRPG don't realize that they're almost like... It's like starting playing video games, but your first game is Elden Ring. So they tend to have this issue of, like... For reasons that I think are reasonable. The issue is they think that all games are going to be that difficult to learn. And so they're, like, afraid of trying Daggerheart, some of them, because, oh no, I won't be able to... Will I not be able to use D&D Beyond? Or, you know, because it's a pain in the ass to run a character without D&D Beyond. Although, I actually had a player last night switch from a PDF to D&D Beyond, and they obviously didn't clock the amount of time they were spending just figuring out I mean, I'm sure they noticed they had to, like, figure shit out on the tool, but people who are using D&D Beyond, you are obviously in that moment trying to solve a problem. Your brain is active, right? You're not paying attention to how many seconds are passing by. But if I had a nickel for every time people, like this player had to stop to, like, figure shit out on the character sheet, and also if I was to compare the amount of time they spent just reading their spells off of the PDF that they had originally written versus, like, figuring out just how to do the most basic things on D&D Beyond, it's not a helpful tool. D&D Beyond's just... It's a pain in the ass because I don't think it's a great tool. That's it. It's not even more complicated than that. What's up, Nick? How you doing? Good. Salty Nick is in my Discord server right now. I'm talking to them via voice, everybody. But you cannot hear their voice because... I only do that if people give me their consent. Speaking of which, Nick, do you consent to having your voice played in the stream? Okay, in that case... Say something, Nick? Let's... Let's see, for whatever reason, it's not letting me choose turn this Discord audio on. Let me see. There we go. Try to say something again.
Hello, hello.
All right, cool. We got audio. Everybody meet Salty Nick. They're from Croatia.
Hello, everyone. Hello to both people watching the stream.
Apparently, we have 6 people.
Okay. I'm only seeing on YouTube.
Watching the stream
on Twitch as well.
I
was just saying I'm preparing a third-party supplement for Ninja Borg, which is an awesome game I hope to run for Nico very soon.
I'm looking forward to Ninja Borg. By the way, Gethin... I like how Gethin's like, hey, if you're not already overwhelmed by the giant list that is an accumulation of, like, 12 books that you're looking at, did you know I also have a bunch of items numbering over 200 that you can also pull from?
Oh, nice. Classic Gethin.
Let's see. Circlet of Blasting. Circlet of Blasting could be really cool, actually. But yeah, I'm trying to decide what to give my players because they just went into a like rich person's mansion, and I'm trying to figure out like what kind of weapons or items do I give them. And I'd like to throw at them, you know, some fun, wondrous items. This one gives you +5 for sleight of hand checks. That could be fun for the rogue.
This is D&D?
Yes. I will say... I will say that some of these, I understand that people go, well, it'll break your game. Here's the thing. They're a rogue with expertise in sleight of hand. Like, they already have, like, a... What is it? Plus... Like, 8... Let's see. Plus 4 from dexterity, at least. I think their proficiency bonus is, like, a plus 3, plus 6 total. So they already have, like, a plus 10 in sleight of hand. Like, they're rarely ever going to fail. But it's cool enough that I know they would enjoy that. So I think I'm going to give them that. Gloves of Thievery. Nice. Okay. That's not a weapon. So let's see. What kind of weapons would be cool for level 6? Well, we'll throw some other stuff in here, too. Gauntlets of Overpower... of Ogre Power. Let's see. What levels? Oh, Gilded Boots. Let's see. This is from my friend Gethin, the Welsh DM. Gilded Boots. Wondrous item. Gethin, your art isn't showing up. It says art by Shadowverse, but I have no idea. There's nothing there. Gethin, you have to fix... You have to fix the art. Okay. Golden Glimmering Boots, bonus to Charisma and Charisma Performance. Okay, Persuasion and Performance. Equal to your Dex modifier. Oh. Additionally, when a creature attempts to grapple you, you can use a reaction to force the creature to make a Wisdom save. On a failure, it's charmed and can't take opportunity attacks until the end of your next turn. You know what, man? Sure. I'll use the Gilded Boots. Okay. Nick, do you know how to do the thing in Discord where stuff becomes like a block of text? I found it. You had the ampersand.
Like a big quotation?
No, you just not ampersand, sorry. You had 2 like reverse accent marks. Or you know,
the code block, yes.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So that's a neat fun thing. Robe of Useful Items, Rope of Climbing, Sending Stones. Yeah, I don't think they have Sending Stones. I'm gonna give them some of those. Okay. What is this? Frontiers of Eberron. Quick Stone Whisper. So many of these are just... Full of useful knowledge and heavy enough to crush a skull. Heliana's Book to Monster Hunting is nothing if not handy. The personal quotes from Heliana, blah blah blah, proofing, editing, tome, homemade feel, fantastic phalanges and where to find them. As an action, you can open this book and stare intently at its pages, which turn of their own accord to settle on an anatomical diagram of the corpse nearest to the book. You immediately learn all the harvestable parts of the corpse, as well as their component DCs. I was already giving them their component DCs, because I use Heliana's Guide. With the enemy. As an action, you can place an object that belonged to a creature, such as its scat, scales, or clothing, between the pages of this book. 1 minute later, it tells you the piece of information about the creature. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, it's cool. So it's like a tracking thing. By the way, Nick, I don't know if you can see my stream, but like these long ass paragraphs of information. Um, this is what I mean. It's just, you don't even need to watch the stream, Nick. It's a paragraph for a single ability. That's the kind of thing that annoys me. I'm like trying to prepare games and stuff. Flying broomstick could be fun. Keys to the sandcastle. Enchanted toy, 50 charges. Sand structure. That could be fun. I don't know why that would be here. Silver Quill Primer. What's this from? Strixhaven. Let's see. I'd give them a clockwork amulet. Devil's Detail eye patch. Huh. Gives you dark vision. If you already have it, you get 60 more feet. And you can see as... Oh, you can see through magical darkness. Yo. That's one of the things for sure. For sure. And here's why. Magical darkness and non-magical darkness, two very different things. And there's a lot of cool abilities and combos that like don't really... By Wes. Sorry, by... call them Wes because of Welsh. By Gethin. Sorry. I'm obviously juggling a couple of things at once in my brain. Yeah, there's a lot of really cool combos that you could use that don't work because, like, if you're a wizard who... Actually, Shadowblade already doesn't work because it itself is concentration, and I'm pretty sure darkness is... concentration too? Let's find out. Ugh, yeah. So you can't cast darkness and Shadowblade at once if you're a wizard, though somebody could cast darkness for you. And then you cast Shadowblade. Then the problem is you can't see through magical darkness even if you're like an elf. And I think that I think Dark Vision, the spell, yeah, it gives you like mundane dark vision. So you can cast magical darkness, which works different from regular darkness, but if you cast dark vision, you get regular ass dark vision, and it doesn't cut through magical darkness. Very annoying. So I'm going to change the music. How's the music levels in the background of the stream, by the way, Nick?
Oh, I don't have the stream on now. I'm just on my phone because it's confusing otherwise.
Oh, that's understandable. All right. Let's see. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need one more wondrous item.
Oh, do you want something I made for a Trex Treasure Trove?
Sure.
They're all wondrous items. Give me what kind of a campaign is it? Are they doing any insurrections, maybe, or are they investigating, perhaps? Or do we just roll a d10 and see what comes up?
Let's do something investigative.
All right. I have this magical lamp called the Lamp of Shadows, which when you turn it on, it doesn't give off light, but it instead projects shadows on the wall of people who were in this space up to 24 hours ago. So you could, the intention is you can like examine their shadows to get partial information as to what happened in this room.
Actually, that's pretty sick. That's pretty sick. Yeah.
Awesome.
It's not like a one-use thing, is it?
No, well, actually, let me check what the intention was. Okay. The intention was that it can burn for a total of 1 hour. You choose for how long you want to use it, but after it's burned for a total of 1 hour, then it disappears in a puff of smoke.
Okay, cool. I'll probably just change it to a certain number of uses or whatever. That way, it's something
Yeah,
that they can keep for the rest of the campaign.
cool. I'll DM you the description.
Please do. And if you wanna, when you DM me the description, send me a link and I'll pull up the thing so I can show people your cool product.
Oh, sure. Let me then. Okay, I'll send you the screenshot of the card then as well. Let me just find it.
And I forgot to grab the link for the gloves of thievery. Okay. Gonna hit BRB on the stream so I can use the bathroom. All right, we're back.
And welcome back.
Yeah, hold on.
I sent you the thing.
Wanna stay. Okay. All right. What did I miss? Nick?
We're back. All right. Yeah, I sent you the Lamp of Shadows. Screenshot of the card and a link to the thingamajig on Drive to RPG.
Yes, this is Trek's Treasure Trove. This is a
Indeed.
deck of cards that you can either print out, or actually, I think it's possible to buy it as a deck of cards, and it's just a bunch of magic items for D&D. Salty Nick was one of the designers.
Yeah, there's 3 versions. Yes, it was. Yeah, thank you for the little promo. I made 10 out of the 60 items that are in it. And yes, you can get it as a print-on-demand deck of cards. You can get it as a print at home PDF, or as a PDF that's just laid out like a book rather than for printing as cards specifically.
There you go. And I'm going to show them the lamp that you gave me. Lamp of Shadows, wondrous item.
Wonderful.
Very variant. Okay, yeah. So I think what I'd probably do is just give them like a set number of times before it like wears it out. Let's say 3 is a nice number. I'll say 3.
Yeah, it depends like on the kind of flavor you want. Like if it's limited by time that it can be lit, then you're making them, be more efficient and tense about it. If it's a number of uses and regardless of how long it stays lit per use, then I guess they'll think more as to when to use it. But when they do, they won't be under so much stress.
Yeah, I'd probably just like let it light for like 10 minutes at a time. So that's what I feel like that's a comfortable amount of time that it's not like forever ever, but it's also enough time that like feasibly their characters could spend time looking at the shadows, so they'd get like a good use out of that charge. And then 3
10 minutes, aka 1 dungeon turn.
Yeah, and the other, I mean, I just also think it's hard to try to manage time without like a good way to measure it the way D&D lacks that. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Let's see. Because here's the thing, even if we're role-playing and stuff is happening in real time, the moment somebody stops to go like, how does this thing work? And I read the description, I've blown like 3 minutes of real-world hour time, like reading the description. How do we measure that? And it becomes impossible to do that. I've just tried to do a lot, those kinds of things with like time stuff. And there's just no reliable way in a D&D game to measure time outside of like, combat, for example, where combat is like, combat's like, every round is 6 seconds. So, that 10 rounds is 60 seconds. But outside of turns, there's, and we all know that a round in real life takes like a fucking hour. So, like, again, time just doesn't make any sense. Time's not real in this game. Okay, so I'll put that in my Walking Sun folder. The name of the campaign's Walking Sun, everybody. And this is called the Lamp of Shadows. Okay, this would be a cool one to convert to Daggerheart.
Aye, when we absolutely will.
Yeah. Oh man, my stupid ADHD brain is trying so hard not to switch gears to converting this item to Daggerheart.
I think right now.
Probably even make it like, if it was for Daggerheart, just like once per rest. It's just a cool item to have, and it feels like such a cool item for like a detective of some sort to reliably have. Like I could even see it being someone's like one of their trademark tools. Batman has like batarangs and grappling hooks. Like they have a bunch of
Right, right,
gizmos,
right.
right? But like batarangs and grappling hooks are things that you reliably know Batman is going to have, so that they can do their Batman thing.
Yeah.
And I feel
Yeah, you're
like,
right. This would be very, very cool. So if it's like a staple item of a detective, then you do not want it to have limited uses. You might be like once a day or once a week, but yeah,
yeah,
it's something the detective can use like every episode.
yeah, exactly. The same way, like even a more overpowered version, even is like the screwdriver that Doctor Who uses. You know, it's like this super useful multi-tool, and he just uses it all the time. I wouldn't, probably wouldn't do it like that. I would do it stick to the once a day thing. But yeah, like you said, it's cool to have like that on hand. And every episode when the character comes out and like sees a new crime scene, you're almost like waiting for them to pull out their lamp of shadows or something. Um,
Mm,
yeah, I feel like we're on the same wavelength here, and I like that. As a generality, internet, whenever you work with people, it's good to find people who like without trying too hard, you're sort of on a similar vibe. It's just makes life easier. Um, let's see. Also, the music's so low I can barely hear it. There we go. Okay. Um. All right. I think that does it for their wondrous items. I think those are all just cool ass things to find. And that was called the Lamp of Shadows. Neat. I'll even add the image here. In case I lose it. Because I might. Alright, time for weapons. So we'll filter out wondrous items. And we will add weapons. We'll say any kind of weapon. All the weapons. Okay. And we'll stick to uncommon stuff. Because they're level 6. What else did I need to make sure I do, though? Okay. My druid learned Stormbird or something, and she said she wants to Stormbird on some bitches in open field combat. Noted. Another player said they want to watch the rogue do more, like get the chance to do more rogue stuff. So I'm hoping the Gloves of Thievery kind of encourage that play. Of course, it's a buff that's there if they use it, right? But they're not like forced to use it. And they do rogue stuff. I just haven't given them that many chances to do like crawling through a dungeon, finding tripwires kind of stuff. And you can
Hey,
only
when you say your players asked to do these things, was this as part of Stars and Wishes at the end of your games?
yeah. So for the internet, at the end of my games, I do a version of Stars and Wishes that I call Stars and Dreams. The stars are things that they enjoyed about the session, and this kind of lets me know what I'm doing right and makes sure that like if it was something that was there, I keep it there, or I do more of that in the future, right? I know they respond well to that. If it's something that they didn't care for, they'll not even speak about it, and I'll just naturally forget it ever happened, or I'll forget when I'm thinking about like, oh, what are all the things I need to make sure this session has. I'm just gonna focus by virtue of the fact that they've told me things that they like on those things rather than the things they didn't like. It kind of naturally filters stuff out, but in a positive way because they focus on what made them feel good. I get to focus on what makes them feel good. So again, if you get hung up on all the things you did wrong, your constant's like, don't think of the white polar bear. You're going to think about all your mistakes and you're going to be constantly trying to avoid them. And any good choices you make will also be fueled by anxiety, and that's not useful for GMing. So let's see that. And then also dreams is what are they dreaming about happening in the next session? Like something they're really looking forward to. And then again, in the same way, stars lets me focus on the things that were positives for them. So I, by virtue of keeping more stars in, I lose things that weren't good to them. We've also got dreams, which tells me in the next session, here's what they're looking forward to. And I can't always make all the dreams happen. But there are ways where it's like, I can try to at least keep them in mind as I make my plans. And hopefully I can come up with cool inspiration or ideas like, hey, you know what? What's up, Humble Gallipot? They're also a creator, by the way. Oh, hey, they wanted open field. This would be perfect for that. And then, boom, there they get it. Or as I'm looking through, oh, I have to give them all cool items. What do I give them? And then I remember somebody said they did a perception check to find some stuff, which was, by the way, the rogue. And then someone else says, oh, I want to see the rogue do cool rogue stuff. And then I go, oh, as I'm looking through all these magic items, you know what? Boom, here's some rogue things for the rogue.
Cool. And how come you're calling it dreams rather than wishes? Is there a nuance there that sets them apart?
Yeah, it seems like speakers of the English language, the purpose of of stars and wishes was what you're wishing for, like when you wish upon a star kind of wish. Like I'm wishing for like a chance to use my cool new scimitar, or I wish for more combat in the next session. Like I'm really looking forward to combat. It's what you were looking forward to, you're anticipating, right? But ironically, a very common idiomatic, not even idiom, it's not an idiom, it's just a common expression is, I wish, and then you say something you didn't like about the past. And the whole purpose of the wish is those two things. It's something you want to have happen in the future. You're looking forward to.
My wish is the next session doesn't suck.
Yeah, so it's like, not only now has wish been, like, by virtue of that expression, turned into, let me express things that, like, made me feel like because my players can always tell me if something makes me feel bad or if they're having an issue. We don't need this part for that. This is like the things that get them excited, so I can keep that in mind. Versus now, if they say, I wish I wore red pants. Now you're talking about something that you disliked, that does not make you excited at all. And all that gives me is, I should have worn literally any other pant in the world with no specificity. Or it also draws the attention to the past, which is the complete opposite reason that it's called wishes. It's supposed to be forward thinking. So dreams, though, dreams is in its secondary non-literal form, is oftentimes like, I dream of a day when, and it's like something really cool that you're idealizing and looking forward to in the future that you wish would happen. And that's, to me, captures it more, because too often did I have people saying things like, I wish, and then it was like stuff too that, again, they're focusing on things they like, so the things I should do instead are literally anything else in the world besides the one thing they dislike. Versus if they can tell me what they are looking forward to, rather than going, don't do a million things, don't do one thing, and out of the million other options, try to find the one that I actually will like. They can just, through dreams, telling me what they're looking forward to, tell me exactly what it is that would be the right answer, So it helps me help them better, I think.
Awesome. You should make a video about it. Other than this one.
Yeah, good point. Okay, so weapons. A lot of Hellfire stuff. Oh, because it's from Descent into Avernus. Yeah, but this is actually like a devil worshipping cult, so they should have a Hellfire something or other. Ooh. A Hellfire frying pan. Infernal iron with traced with veins of hellfire that shed dim light across a 5-foot radius. Any humanoid killed by an attack made with this weapon has its soul funneled into the river Styx, where it's reborn instantly as the Lemure Devil. Jesus. Special. While wielding a frying pan, you can use...
Ouch.
What'd you say?
Oh, just ouch.
Yeah. You can use a bonus action to add a +1 bonus to your AC until the end of your next turn. You can't use this benefit while wielding a shield. Do I give them a Hellfire frying pan? I think that's fun. It does a d6 of bludgeoning damage. Or a d8. It's versatile.
And they can roleplay what would have happened if Samwise Gamgee had fallen to the ring's corruption.
Wait, there's also a Hellfire Iron Tea Kettle.
Nah, that's for me.
Should I use that? Maybe the tea kettle's the move, actually. I can say it's part of, like, the ceremony or something.
Oh, yes.
Like, it looks like a ceremonial kettle. Let's see, and it's the same thing. Any humanoid kill goes back into the mirror. Honestly, apparently there's no, like, cool effects that come with it. This sounds like they just figured it would make sense for a tea kettle to be lying around somewhere, and they felt like they had to mechanicize it with stats. As I'm, like, reading more of it. Okay, and all the Hellfire does is turn their soul into a Lemure. Okay. You know what? I'm getting less excited about this by the minute.
What if they could use the tea kettle to trick someone into drinking tea from it, and then it turns the victim?
Say that again?
What if they could use the tea kettle to make tea for a victim, and the victim who drinks it gets their own soul turned into a Lemure or whatever?
Oh, so they get turned into a devil is what you're saying?
Yeah. I'm saying you can use the kettle to trick someone. Have them drink poison for their soul. Yeah, I'm not loving it as such.
Well, hey, for the internet, this is why it's called spitballing, right? You just say things and something kind of jumps out at you, and maybe it doesn't.
What sticks at a wall?
Yeah. Also, I'm just gonna hold on.
I mean, if you manage to channel some divine energy into the kettle in order to calm down the infernal influence, the soul corrupting essence, blah blah, you just have a kettle that warms itself.
Okay. Sorry. I'm switching my headphones to Bluetooth mode so I can, like, stand up and walk around without having to, like, unplug them or take them on and off. And just waiting. Okay. Am I connected now, though? Show me. Audio output, audio output. Let's see. Headphones, no. Not showing my Bluetooth headphones as a output option. Hold up. Ooh. Okay, the microphone's connected now. I'm just gonna have to turn this on and off. Perfect. Like all technical issues, they're most easily solved by simply turning it on and then off again. Or off and then on again. Were you saying something, Nick? If I missed it, sorry.
The last I was saying was about a tea kettle. If you manage to calm down its infernal nature, then you could just have a kettle that warms itself up without trying to corrupt your soul. I mean, that's the kind of stuff I would add to my game just because I like tea, but I don't think it necessarily translates to 5e very well.
Let's see. I'm actually going to go through the Dragon's Vault really quick. I know he has like something of rose. I know because I almost repurposed this. Roseblade, here we go. Okay. It's rare. +1 weapon. Hey, what's up, Cat and Vod? We're doing pretty good. We're trying to find neat weapons for my players for our game. It's in about an hour and a half, and I have it on my notes that I was going to give them cool level 6, or weapons for hitting level 6. I think I actually just gave someone a rapier. Let's see. I'll hold off on the weapons. Maybe I'll ask them. Here's the thing. Yesterday I was actually running a game where I gave my players some cool items, and I thought to myself, as I was running, I go, why am I putting all this pressure to find the right, like, the perfect item for each of them? Why don't I just, like, ask them? Which, honestly, I think, as a generality, I can't emphasize enough, like, the importance of communication with your players. Ask them what kind of items, like, they think would be cool to have. A new weapon, maybe, like, a ring they could put on or something, right? Because I had one player who already has a cool weapon. They don't want a new cool weapon. They wanted, like, a ring that they could put on top of the stuff they already have. And so, from there, I was then able to find stuff that they liked. So I think I'm going to hold off on the weapons, actually, and instead of wasting time doing more of that. Because this one, they just had a big battle, and I think they're going to be doing a lot more, like, sort of, you know, hey, what do we do next, guys?
Sounds good.
The sad thing is...
Yeah, I'm going to leave you here, by the way, and head back to my work, but nice chatting, and bye-bye, Internet.
Bye, Salty Nick. Let's see. Yes, it's always good instead of trying to mind read people. But what I was going to say is... it's sad because the player who was looking forward to the most, like, as far as, like, getting to know the other characters and having just, like, a sort of campfire side thing, and this is not the first time this has happened, too, where I go, yeah, you know what, based on that player's feedback, we'll run a session that's kind of like this. That's always the player who ends up not being there for the session that I've, like, planned around something specific that they've asked for. So this was going to be like, hey, you guys just had a big battle. You know, it's kind of the calm after the storm where you spend some time sort of, you know, what do we do next? Where do we go? How do these clues, you know, connect? And it's big exposition, story, setup stuff. Again, because they asked for that specifically and said that's something they'd like. And then where are they gone? This has happened actually twice. Twice before. This is the third time. Let's see. Perception check. Okay. So they want to know what's up with the Castellanters. I did steal this couple from the actual Waterdeep Dragon Heist book. The NPCs that they fought. Some of them. Let's see. Yeah, the first time it was somebody who, like, they had joined during in fact, actually both of the times. Two of the times before. Okay, bye, baby.
Love you.
Love you too. Yeah, both times it's players who joined a campaign, like, a session in, so they were already, like, in combat, like, mid-combat fighting. So they were like, yeah, I'd really like some time to, like, get to know the other characters, bond with them, and literally, like, that was the core of the next session. And then one of them had, like, a doctor's appointment, which they were both upset that they couldn't attend the whole session. And even after we extended the session so that they could attend, they were apparently so upset about not attending that session that they just didn't come to the rest of the session. And then also quit the campaign because they were like, I just feel like I don't really know anybody that well. Even though I had bent the entire session around, like, letting them ingratiate into the group better. So There was another one who recently had something come up for them, and it was just like they had also, so they wanted to do like more exploration and things like that. And I think it was like a very combat. They were out for actually like 2 sessions, so that's another one. I won't get into the specifics of that just because I don't feel like it. And then this one is another one where it's like, yeah, I only joined a couple sessions ago. I really want to get to know the other characters and see how everything in the story fits together. And this was also to catch them up to the rest of the story. And then they're like, hey, I double booked myself this weekend. And it was like, and I'm not going to throw them right back into another like combat slog. You got to consider pacing, right? Stories have to go like that. They can't just be like fight all the time, or just straight up roleplay all the time, right? Even in like roleplay heavy campaigns, some of those roleplay moments have to have stakes, right? This is even why they have things like social environments and social adversaries in Daggerheart, is because there is such a thing as combat level stakes, even if no one's stabbing each other. Like, because narrative stakes. Anyway, New York, strategy meeting. They did want more fighting. New lore. Actually, they really fucking want to fight. You know what? Give the people what they want. This is where we get into storytelling mode, right? We've done the Castellanters. Gonna put them into New York. For the life of me, what the hell was I planning? I remember now. Wait, do I? They have their own cult. Mephistopheles. Let's focus on that. So, these players found that these really rich people worship Asmodeus, who's D&D Satan. And you know what? I'm tired of having to adjust my exposure because of the sun. Okay. Anyway. Too bright. Too bright. I wish I had a better place to hang my ring lights. I like that I have the extra light. The problem is it's right where my monitor is, and again, I understand why it's meant to be like that, but it means that I'm like blinding myself just by looking at the screen, which defeats the purpose of why I turn my screen's brightness down anyway. So, Mephistopheles. Mephistopheles is not D&D Satan. They're like... It's like Wario and Waluigi. They're like Waluigi, right? They're very popular. They're just as big of a... Like, they're also a very big character. They're like a rival bad guy. Well, they're not a rival to the bad guy. They're like the bad guy's companion. But okay, whatever. My point is they're also very bad. And they're bad because they're like a scheme. I mean, like, they're devils. They're all schemers. That does nothing for you. But they're not the king of the 9 hells, right? Or the top dog in the 9 hells. They want to be, though. And their strength rivals Asmodeus. They're also more into, like, wizardry and stuff like that. So let's see. I have some cool Warlock Patron stuff, and also some cult stuff. This is by Conflux Creatures, by the way. They have a free Patreon, Conflux Creatures. They also are known sometimes as, let me see. Oh, this is... I love that. Conflux Creatures down here. Boom. They make just better versions of monsters. A lot of it is also... Oh, and sometimes spells and stuff. A lot of their stuff is also... Oh, and they do their own art like this. Like, so that this is their own sketches. And they try to add in, like, pieces of lore and stuff, too, to kind of inspire you. But yes, so this is about Mephistopheles. And then I also have a thing about cult members of Mephistopheles. Let's see. Interesting. Okay, so the master is... I get it. Okay, so it's a cult of, like, wizards and stuff. Who ultimately worship Mephistopheles. Got it. Okay. Philosopher mages. Okay. Interesting. Academy of the Sacred Art, the cloistered school, aspiring magic wielders said to have one of the highest success rates in awakening latent talents and seemingly mundane pupils, though one of the lowest survived rates. Interesting. Okay, associated monsters with Mephistopheles. Winter wolves, interesting choice. Hellhounds, living spells. I'll open up their Hellhounds thing. This is, by the way, the bad formatting is not their fault. It's because I'm using Firefox, and Homebrewery doesn't play well with Firefox for some reason. Okay. Falkzugons. Ah, of course. Classic Falkzugons. Harvester Devil. Soul Gambits. Oh, this is fun. Also known as Harvester Devils, elite recruiters of the Nine Hells and the personal emissaries of the Archdukes. Oh, nice. Sent to bring their vile word to the farthest flung. Let's see what their CR is. Is this someone that they should be encountering at this point? CR 7. Oh, yeah. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. Cultist of the Hellfire Master. Okay, Minion. Got it. Fanatic. Devoted. Okay, so these are stat blocks for the cultists. Yeah, you know what? I think that's what's going on. I think... I know that this was a wild ride to get here. I think I'm building a story in my head. Greatest of all wizards is Dark Mephistopheles, master of hellfire and most unmerciful, great dethroner, and first among the serpent's subjects. Yet these grand accolades are but a paltry shard of what his intellect and ambition merit. Stymied as he has been by conspiracy and sabotage at every turn. Shall live to see Beator freed from the smothering coils of Admedeus' misrule, or else he will see the hells ended, for no suffering endured by the justly damned could ever sting so acutely as the injustice of such genius burdened by subservience. Mephistopheles. Okay, alright. I think we're cooking now. So here's the deal. Mephistopheles is scheming, and they're trying to overthrow Asmodeus. This doesn't just fuck with the hells, right? That also fucks with, like, the cosmology of this universe. So I think, or I already know that that's what was going on, that they were trying to do a revolt and stuff. But that's kind of what's kicking things along. However, they're starting to dip their fingers into other planes, right? This is starting to affect everything everywhere all at once. I have like a storyline going between all my campaigns. Part of this is I already know overarchingly what I want to do. But how that manifests depends from session to session. Or what I need, how I need that to manifest depends on the session, right? Especially when I have these 3-hour sessions a month apart, I want to make sure that, like, if I'm going to connect something or other, right, I don't have the time to wait for a super long simmer, because they're not going to get to play again for like a month. So I want to have some cool shit go on today that can really excite them. Get them into it. Kanya, layer of the utmost cold. Wait, but what about Levistus? Stygia. The frozen wastes. Okay, well... The Nine Hells of Beator, right? Interesting. Okay, so Stygia is the 5th layer. Kanya is the 9th layer. Stygia is the frozen wastes. And it's all cold themed. And that's supposed to be different from Kanya, which is a world of relentless cold. This is just the same thing. What the fuck? Okay. So why does the Hellfire Master... Let's see. Roll by... Okay. Archdevil. The Duke of Kanya, not the Archduke. Loyal servant to the Lord of the Eighth, Mephistopheles. Okay. Interesting. Oh, I don't know why these are even appearing here. They have nothing to do with him. Okay. Wheel. Challenge rating 21. Holy shit. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Mm-hmm. Learn a little about Mephistopheles. I've read through this a lot, actually. Pride, Malacross. Oh, wait a second. I don't care. Although I am curious why, like, if your thing is being all fiery. Let's see. Icy Hellscape, Violent Snowstorms, Brought on Howling, a Frozen Expanse, Mountains Eliminated, Something's Freezing, Average. See, how do you get called? Where is it? Oh my god. Once under the name of Malacroth. Interesting. Archdevil. Okay. First of all, again, Levistus is like the frozen one. How do you call yourself the Cold Lord? And the Lord of Hellfire. I just pick a lane, bro. Outmatched the Arctic Sea of Stygia. Okay. Hmm. Hmm. Mm-hmm. Exposed himself to Kanye's coldest temperature, but because of oh, okay. Erupt in extremely potent energy. Okay. So essentially, he chose a cold place because he himself is so hot. Okay. Okay. Cool. Yeah, so I think, or I know, they're going to start discovering that the cult is starting to work actively in Waterdeep. They're going to have some points where they get to know each other. Definitely there will be new lore. And a combat. Let's do a combat. Okay. Why can I not kick them out? Weird. Anyway. So I use Owlbear Rodeo, by the way. Where do they fight these people? Let's see. It's a very city-focused campaign. I mean, obviously they're going to end up fighting more cultists. Yeah, you know what? That's what we'll do. Well, freaky art. Not like freaky, but like freaky. Actually, that still sounded a little freaky. But I was just trying to look for something scary. Something like rawr. Okay. Yeah. Well, okay, well, they're not going to fight the CR-27 guy. But I think I am going to have them investigate some of the cults. That's for sure. So much happens in here. I've got it. I've got it. Do I say it out loud? Yeah, they're fighting cultists for sure. But I don't know if they're all going to be cultists of Mephistopheles. That's, I think, a big part of it. Let's see.
Nico.
Oh, who's this?
Hello, it's Leo.
Hey, Leo. Just so you know, your mic is hot, so the internet will hear you. If you're okay with that, cool.
My mic is what?
Your mic is hot.
Are you live?
Yes.
Cool.
But I can mute
I was just
you.
gonna ask.
You
No,
want.
it's fine. It's fine. I was just gonna ask about your opinion on my commission form. Just a super simple question. Whether you think it's cooler to have the prize first or last. I'll just screenshot it and send it to you in DMs.
Sure.
And there's like an automatic calculator too, so when you select something, it'll automatically calculate at the bottom.
Okay, let me see. You sent it in
your DM.
DMs? Okay. Okay, so you're saying, so what's the question?
So you see how the last ones, the package offers, I tried putting the price first instead of after the thing itself. So I don't know which one looks best.
Between
So
having
everything else
the price afterwards?
Yeah, so like these ones as well have the price afterwards.
No, I think you should have the price afterwards. Because that way, you know, that way the first thing they see is the thing that they get to decide whether they want to buy it or not. Once they've decided they're interested, then they look at the price.
True. Okay. Thank you. Makes sense.
Right, no problem. Also, bye, Adventure Lies Ahead. I think I'm going to sign off because I figured out what I want to do. But I don't want to share it. Also, by the way, Leo, I'm streaming myself doing GM prep for my upcoming D&D session. And it's a bunch of cult stuff, but essentially the cult of Asmodeus is having issues because the cult of Mephistopheles is starting to make some moves, and Mephistopheles is starting to make some moves across various planes. They don't know how this ties into a bunch of my other campaigns, but all my campaigns have like a underlying storyline that kind of relates to each other. And I think they're actually going to get not promoted. They're going to get approached by members of other archdevil cults. I think that everyone's freaking out a little bit because stuff's getting all shaken up in the Nine Hells. Eventually, what I want to do is send my players to hell.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Which hell?
Isn't that the problem, right? There's one hell that's trying to take over the other one, so all of them.
All of them. It's like a little planner adventure.
Yeah, basically, they're going to get to travel through the Nine Hells and stuff and ultimately fight Mephistopheles, but I hope none of them are watching this because I just gave the entirety of like where this campaign is going to be ending up at.
I mean, it sounds like, I think having stuff like that be a mystery is like a bit, what's it called? Overvalued, I guess.
Yeah.
I think it's cool. Like we're gonna kill that guy. Like that, having that as like a very open quest from the very beginning it still works.
Yeah, they know that like Asmodeus is bad, right? They don't want to align themselves with D&D Satan, but at least they have order in the Nine Hells, right? What's about to happen is Mephistopheles is going to try to shake up the status quo because they're trying to take over the Nine Hells, and they're trying to. Oh, my little brother's here! Hey, Nate! My little brother's watching my stream. Ah! By the way, Nate, if you're watching this, If you're watching this, the stuff that's happening in the Abyss is also, in this campaign I'm running here, tied to why the Demon Lords are leaving the Abyss. It's all connected. In a way that literally nobody else in the universe is going to see come together, except for the person running all these campaigns. But anyway. Okay. I know what I want to do. And I think the other cult is going to be... which Archdevil should it be? Leo? Or chat? Does anyone have suggestions?
Which Archdevil?
Yeah. Like, which Archdevil is like, dude, I got a problem.
So this one would be on Mephistopheles' side or Asmodeus' side?
Mephistopheles is kind of fucking things up for everyone as they're taking a power grab.
Right.
Because everybody wants to be the person to overtake Asmodeus, which is why everyone has beef with it being Mephistopheles, because it's not them. Because they're devils.
That's true. I feel like we don't see Beelzebub.
Oh, Beelzebub, yeah.
Beelzebub, yeah, we don't see him a lot. The snail guy.
Yeah, that's a good point. Let's see.
The Lord of Lies. Forced to turn into a slug for 1 year for every lie he told or something like that.
Something like that indeed.
We also don't see the incest couple either a lot.
Oh, there's probably a good reason why we don't see the incest couple a lot.
Yeah, I mean, they don't have like the coolest designs either. So
Yeah, that's what it is.
I mean,
Let's
yes,
see.
Belial.
Oh wait, Beelzebub. Hmm. Hmm? Hmm. Am I tripping? Do I not know how to spell Beelzebub?
Beelzebub.
Oh, because he's Baalzebub
Yeah, it's
in D&D.
Beelzebub with an L, I think.
In
Beelzebub.
typically it's Beel, but in D&D it's Baal.
Yeah, it says here pronounced Beelzebub.
Hmm.
Or Beelzebub.
Let's see.
Formerly an Archon known as Trial.
Mm-mm-mm. No, I don't think they have anything on them. Oh well.
Wait, where are you looking for information about this?
Conflux creatures.
Oh, is that the revised?
Yeah, better monsters.
Yeah, the guy who like, give me a D&D monster.
Give me a what?
He's like, give me a D&D monster, I'll homebrew you a better version.
Oh, no, I think it's someone else you're thinking of. Cult of the Lord of the Flies. They go by Oh Hi Mark on...
Yeah, it's him.
Oh, okay, cool.
So,
Hey,
like,
okay,
built
I
his
found them.
thingy.
Totally what?
that's how he built his thing. Is like he was just basically saying that I can make a better monster from any monster in the end. Pretty funny.
Let's see, 1, 2, 3. Copy that. Move that over to here. And his name is Beelzebub. Beelzebuzaba.
Beelzebub.
The Lord of the Flies. New folder. Okay. Cool. Yeah, I think that's the first one that they'll find. I think that would be cool. I haven't gotten to do anything with Beelzebub. Beelzebuzababadoo. Boobity-bobbity-ba. Babadoo-boobity-boo-boo.
And then the next one could be the incest cup.
No, probably not. Are they archdukes?
Yeah.
Oh, are they really?
Plethagos together. They're both sister and father. They're sister and brother. Their father and daughter. Their wife and husband.
You.
I'll send you. Look at this. Fucking. The bulge is demonic.
What are you sending me?
In
oh my god.
Oh, I mean in DMs.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's fine. Plethagos.
Plethagos, the Heart of Flames. The most classically infernal of the 9 hells.
Yeah, that's messed up. I mean, I guess it is hell, so that's the place to be messed up, but still.
Yeah.
Cool, he's got a city.
Yeah.
Meladomini is the midden heap of the hells, layers upon layers of grand detritus, mountains of never finished architecture, corrupted both from within and without, collapsing upon their rotted foundations, even as they settle into the slow and fathomless mire upon which the plane floats, even as the blood-black sky rains destruction upon them, even as their master orders they be torn apart to make way for further doomed vanities. In the grand capital of Malagard, the rot is smothered in opulence, exquisite sweeps of marble and dancing fountains and gilded minarets rise in near perfection, their flaws seen only by the Lord of Flies. Far from his eye and deep beneath the political proving ground of Grenpoli, the true and final archives of the hells are hidden. Records houses beyond counting, slowly subducting through the filth, connected in ways most hidden and cataloged just as cryptically. Here lie records of all the names and ambitions of the multiverse, all of its depravities and graces, all of its dooms and destinies. Carnival of the Eternal. Oh,
like
Devil Carnival. What's up?
This is like Beelzebub's whole like theme is about unattainable goals. Unattainable perfection.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know.
I think I got what I need. All right.
That's cool.
In that case, everybody, I'm going to end the stream so I can get ready for the actual session, like mentally and physically. Also because I'd like to change into sometimes a cool shirt. It depends. This group has specifically asked that I wear like my Ren Fair garb when I run their games, and you got to give the people what they want, you know? So, bye everybody. Thanks for tuning in, and you can follow me on my link tree down here. And the end of my sentence. I haven't come up with a cool way to sign off. All right, bye.